So this is the wheelie bin storage assembly instructions. For this video we're going to be making a double unit, but it's the same whether you have a single, double, triple, quad or quint. It's the same steps. We do the bins in two different sizes. One is for the 140/180 litre bin, which you can see on the left hand side here, and the other one is the 240 litre size bin on the right hand side. It doesn't matter, you can connect these up anyway. All the different sizes connect up onto each other, so it doesn't matter which way you want to arrange it. If you have different sizes, so you can do as you please. So all the units will arrive with 4 core pieces. That's going to be a back, a front, a lid, and a side. Now the side panels are different because we have a left hand side panel and we have a right hand side panel, and they've different pre-drilled holes inside them. So to help identify which side goes onto which side, there's an identification marker with the letter F on your side panels. So where you position these, the F is at the front. So it should be at the top front, the inside of the side panel. So you can see here from the picture where each of the side panels should be located. Okay, so this is the start of it. So how you start is with a back and a side piece. Now you can see with the red arrow here where the F identification marker should be. So you'll be using the 60mm screws on all the sides. It's helpful if you get someone to help you when positioning the first one, but just locate the pre-drilled hole and put through the 60mm hole, and just know the panel should be flush on the back and should be flush on the top with the other stick. And it's the same for the bottom. Now for the video we're using a drill, but you can use a spanner, adjustable spanner for these hex head bolts. Doesn't matter, it'll just be a little bit slower. And that's what it should be looking like. And the next thing, you're going to join another back panel, but with the dividers in between them. So these holes are pre-drilled, you just have to locate them. So just note that the top divider with the 2 sticks either side of it, just make sure that the bolt where the 2 sticks are connected, that bolt is closer to the back than closer to the front. So you don't put it on back to front. So just make sure the bolt is closer to the back. So you take the long bolt that's in the packaging, the longest one that's in the packaging, and you stick it through one side of the back, through the divider and through the other side of the back, and then grab a washer and your nut and tighten it up. And you do the same on the bottom. So you continue these steps for however many back pieces you have, but for our sake now we are ready to attach on the next side because this is only a double. So it should be looking like this. So again, the F should be at the front of the unit, not at the back of the unit, for this side panel that we're about to attach. So line it up, make sure it's flush, and drill into the pre-drilled hole. And then do the same on the bottom, making sure it's flush on the back. That's what it should be looking like. And now we're going to attach on a front door. So again, have it flush pressed up against the front and flush on the top. And then in the pre-drilled hole, put in your 60mm bolt and connect both the units together. And then do the same on the bottom again. Making sure that the side is pressed up against the front. So now we're going to attach on another front door. And the same as that, what you did on the back, you get the longest bolt, stick it through the front door, then through the divider, and then through the other front door. And you do the same on the bottom. So make sure that the bolts are going through this direction and not in the other direction, because you won't be able to close the door, so they have to go through that way. Now it might be a little bit difficult to sometimes put through the bolt if it's not perfectly lining up, so it's okay to hit it with a hammer or something to make sure that they go through. And then you're connecting on the side panel onto the front door. And just make sure it's fully flush on the front and on the top. And then do the same on the bottom. So now there's one end panel that you need to attach. And that goes for all units. There's only one end panel, and that's on the far right hand side. And just kind of line it up by eye. And then just put a couple of Phillips head screws through it. One at the top and one at the bottom. And now you connect the ends of the latches, and you just put 2 Phillips head screws, the silver ones, and you do that for all of your front doors. And just check, make sure it opens and closes, make sure you've done it correctly. And the last thing we're doing now is attaching the lids. So you line this up by eye, and make sure there's kind of equal gaps. So you put the screws through the hinge, but you're only doing the 2 outer holes. You don't do the hole that's closest to the center of the hinge, and that goes for both sides. So not the 2 that's closest, don't do those, but do all the rest. And repeat this for all the hinges. So you can see this is how it functions. The lid rod holds the lid open, and the hook hooks onto the lid of your bin. So some of the bins won't have the hooks on the top, and you can just drill a hole through the lid of your bin on the corner, and the hook can hook onto it then as well. And that's the unit finished then. Lastly, just note that you'll notice like there's lots of like white patches, things like that on the unit. That's the pressure treatment. So after a while this will all fade and it'll come off and it'll just look like natural timber. If you're going to be painting the unit, we recommend doing this after a dry period, so the timber's really dried out, and that will make sure that the paint or the varnish will last a lot longer with the unit.